Hi everyone, Lisa Haven, and things are getting really out of hand. The censorship is increasing, the turmoil, the fight against Donald Trump and the globalists has exploded. And I'm going to show you some things, but there really is a civil war, a coup going on within the upper ranks of the government, within the world government included in that. And we have the corrupt side fighting the good side, and there is this epic showdown. And we are literally at a tilting breaking point here in America. And, so much so that we see national movements just not here in America, but globally, because people have woken up to the New World Order and the crap that they want to push. Let me show you an image. Here's an image of the New World Order and what they think we all believe. This is your kumbaya leftist view of we're all holding hands, peace on earth. What is the real thing? Well, as you can see the picture on the right, the real New World Order is a bunch of dictators ruling over a poor middle class. It's a rich, poor middle class. That's what history shows. That is exactly what they deem it to be. And those on the left, that's what you're vouching for. You're going to give the globalist more power, and the Uber bankers, those pulling from behind the scenes, the strings, that's who you're vouching for. Just a quick wake-up call. That said, there is a civil war happening right now, again, within the upper ranks of the government. Check out this report from WikiLeaks Twitter page, which says former NSA employee John Schindler is sending out a tweet that said, and I quote, "Now we go nuclear. International community, war going to new levels." Just got an email from a senior international community friend. It began, "He will die in jail." Speaking of Donald Trump dying in jail and how the international community is, while putting a target on the back of our president, that's a straight up fierce battle right there. I've never seen this since I've been alive anyhow, any of this kind of stuff happening or going on within our government. And here we have a straight up war between one organization and our president, who's trying to drain the swamp. Here's another report from the Wall Street Journal stating that spies keep intelligence from Donald Trump on leak concerns. Here's another report from Breitbart.com. Deep state #resistance. Spies withhold intelligence from Trump, says the Wall Street Journal. This is huge. Here we have intelligence purposefully being withheld from Trump because they are attempting to push this narrative that he is a Russian spy, that those in his organization are a Russian spy, specifically in regards to the new information that has surfaced about Michael Flynn, who has now resigned and stepped down from his role there. But here's the thing about that. He was asked to step down because, and I quote, this is what he said, they received information saying that he told somebody in Russia, one of the main contacts in Russia, that they will talk about sanctions at a later date. I don't quite see how that is a criminal act, especially considering something what Hillary Clinton has been doing, and yet they do nothing. Okay, she's leaked emails, she shared classified information, but you're going to tell me because Michael Flynn told Russia leaders there that he's going to talk about sanctions at a later date with the president? How is that anything corrupt? They are pulling at straws here to try to get people out, and they're in Trump's presidency, and they're going to try to take them out one by one by one. And I know Steve Bannon's on their list, President Trump's on their list, Michael Flynn was on their list, and many others in Donald Trump's organization. And we also got some rats in there. We know the rat to top them all is Reince Priebus, who, by the way, is probably likely at fault for the leaks, which I believe wholeheartedly he is. But that said, why is it that those on the quote right, and they're not even right, real patriots, are the ones that are getting attacked, yet those on the left can continue to leak and share and do criminal activities, and yet nothing happens to them? That's what we need to get out. And here's the thing. I was actually watching the news the other day. Unfortunately, it was CBS News and MSNBC News, mouthful there, but both of them are crap news. Both of them are fake news. But I only watched it because I wanted to report on some of the things that they were doing. And Here's what I found. I sat down, and I encourage no one to watch these freaking creeps. But anyway, I sat down and watched it. The whole time they called Donald Trump a Russian spy without having any evidence. The whole time they encouraged assassination of our president. The whole time I was watching, and I watched for over 2 hours, but they also pushed for activism against Trump. They went as far as to bring on an average everyday Joe who was never involved in politics before Donald Trump got involved. And now he's involved in politics, and they were saying how he is doing stuff on the internet to encourage people to get out and protest, and how they want this man on the streets to go protest. Okay, and so they're pushing protests. They're pushing activism against Donald Trump. They're pushing tension, race wars, race riots. These are things that they were pushing from fake news, CBS and MSNBC, both of which were doing that. And it's like, give me a break. You're pushing all these things, and they were providing all this information saying, you know, he's a Russian spy, and lie after lie after lie, but no evidence whatsoever to prove any of it. That's what pisses me off. And American people will sit down and watch this crap and see it and think it's real without having any tangible evidence. Please encourage everyone not to watch CNN. They're just as bad. MSNBC or CBS. If you're going to have to watch some mainstream media, at least turn on Fox News. They've gotten better a little bit lately, which is great. At least they're reporting on some stuff, and I love Hannity on there anyhow. I think he's pretty good. But needless to say, there's all this Trump bashing, Trump hatred, and they're encouraging activism to the same level above, okay, the Tea Party. The Tea Party movement started years ago, and now they're talking about, hey, we're doing the same political activity as the Tea Party. No, you're not. When your people go to rallies and start stuff, it always ends up in violent tension. This is not the same level. The Tea Party patriots go places, there isn't violence going on, but there is at exponentially high levels with what they're pushing. And that's because they're pushing the assassination of our president. And they can all just go to hell. You know, go to hell, MSNBC, go to hell, CNN, go to hell, CBS News, because that is the crap that you spout, and you're sold out by globalists. And here's the thing. They sit there and try to say that Donald Trump is in with the Russians, even though he's not in with the Russians. He's a patriot through and through, but yet they don't say jack about Hillary Clinton or Obama, who sold out to freaking globalist New World Order organizations, who sold out to the United Nations, who sold our country to this kumbaya picture, when in reality, it's them pulling the strings. They are Bohemian Grove creeps, and just on major levels, and even worse than that. I mean, they're Illuminati and the whole 9 yards. But this is despite the fact that check out this new Gallup poll that shows that 62% of Americans say that Trump keeps his promises. Even though the media continues to bash Trump, polls are showing that America thinks that Donald Trump is exactly what we need in this country. And that's despite the fact that globalists are calling for civil war against Donald Trump, for war against it. But here's the thing. They're really pushing things against Donald Trump. They're hacking his Twitter page, moving comments, negative comments, not allowing him to see the voice of the people. Because one thing that America likes about Donald Trump is that we have direct communication with him through his Twitter page. While the owner of Twitter is attempting to silence that, attempting to quiet that. So much so that they're even calling for censorship against our own president. What kind of crap is that? And that's just absurd. This shows the level of how far the left will go. You don't see anyone on our side of the fence saying, shut them up, they're not allowed to do this, they can't say this, they can't do this. You don't see that, but yet you see it on their side of the fence. Now, I want to go back to another report that was earlier this year, because I think this is important for what we're talking about now. Check out this report from theintercept.com. Pentagon video warns of unavoidable dystopian future for world's biggest cities. Now, this is only a 5-minute video, and I encourage you guys to watch it. I'll leave it in the description box below. But in this video, the Pentagon entertains the idea how there will be civil unrest, unstable predictability in megacities. Megacities are cities with over 10 million people, and there is even a document I'm going to show you in a moment, but this is something that they're pushing, a dystopian nightmare. They're saying because of the amount of population, because of this, that it is unavoidable that at some point in the very near future, the military will have boots on the ground. Check, and let me show you this and then get back to this, but this is a document I did a report on, I don't know, a year or two ago, a couple years ago, possibly, but it's megacities and the United States Army, a document put out, and it says in this report that it's inevitable at some point that the U.S. Army will be asked to operate in megacities. End quote. It also says on page 3 of the document, solutions therefore require boots on the ground. And this goes hand in hand with the video that was put out by the Pentagon. And I want to show you those quotes first, but the Pentagon video basically reiterates what the megacities document contains. And it also furthers that and says that it will just be utter chaos, people living, riots breaking out. So basically it will look like Pakistan or Iran here in America, but at a worse level, and how they're going to have to bring in the military. Maybe this is a reason for Jade Helm, which we know when that came out a year or two ago, and Jade Helm and all of that. And here's the thing, I've said from the get-go, and I said from day one about Jade Helm, it is practice for a type of martial law in America, which they're not going to call martial law, but it is practice for civil, in case of civil uprising, it's practice for them to come in and bring peace, right? Peace. So it's this dystopian nightmare, but here they are at the Pentagon pushing chaos, literally saying the future of America, it won't look like a bunch of robots and, you know, us flying in flying cars. Oh, no, no, no. It's going to be riots on the streets, food rationing, and the whole 9 yards in these megacities that they force us, by the way, to live in. This is why I tell everyone, please get prepared with food. I use foodforliberty.com/haven. If you don't use them, use someone. Just make sure you have food on hand. It's because idiots like those in the corrupt side of the government are saying it's going to be hell on earth. And then we have Daigle, which I did a report, who shows our population going from 321 million to 61 million. What the heck? Within 8 years. This is why please get prepared with food. I use foodforliberty.com/haven, but use someone. But anyhow, that's aside from the point. Also, make sure you have gold and silver. These are not only, you can use them for bartering, you can use them for money, you can use them for a lot of things, but they do have essential values. Noble Gold Investments, another good one. And actually, gold and silver have been specifically targeted for, to be censored. Why? Well, anything that's being censored, I think I'm all for. So I'll leave a link for noblegoldinvestmentsbelow.com if you want to check that out too. Big proponents, I'm huge in. Anyhow, moving on from that, there is this nightmare scenario that the corrupt side wants to bring on, and they're doing everything they can to fight Donald Trump. And I'm sorry if I'm going a little longer today, but there is so much at stake and so much on the table that we just need to be ready, because they want to take Donald Trump out. Again, I reported earlier that they were trying to look at taking out his security officers. Why? Because Donald Trump trusts them. But needless to say, you can see how they're withholding information. They're taking out his people one by one, using minor things to do so, like they did with Flynn. Really, it was about the media. The Democrats are the reason he's out. It really had nothing to do with his conversation with Russia saying, we'll talk about sanctions at a later date. I mean, get real. But you can't arrest Hillary Clinton for 1,000,000 times worse. I mean, give me a break. It's just crazy, and this chaotic event that we're surfacing into. And as I said last year, as we get further into 2017, the battle only just begun with Donald Trump getting up to presidency. We got a long way to go. We got to clean a swamp, and you betcha there is going to be a fight back from these people. They're not going to go quietly, and they're going to intensify and intensify and intensify as they have done. Anyhow, wanted to bring you the latest on that. Thanks again for tuning into my channel here. Please don't forget, if you like what you heard today, please hit that subscribe button and follow me, because you never know what tomorrow holds. Well, this is Lisa Haven signing out.